Hello and welcome again to another edition of Jonesin for Wins. My name is Craig Havens. Again, I'm joined by Jonathan Almanzar. We will be discussing the Super Bowl, a game where the Cowboys were not allowed to play due to the fact that they, couldn't win enough to do so. Uh, Jonathan, what'd you think of the game? You weren't going to watch it, but then you did.
I did. I ended up watching it. I don't know why people are saying this is the greatest Super Bowl of all time.
I've not heard that.
Oh, do you not get on the internet?
I do get on the internet, but I've been pretty busy doing other projects. But I mean, I did
Yeah.
not hear greatest Super
Yes.
Bowl of all
Yes.
time. It was a good Super Bowl. It
ESPN.
really was good.
ESPN had a whole story about it, how this was the greatest Super Bowl. Actually, they said, was this the greatest Super Bowl of all time?
Yeah, that's
I
not saying it is. That's a question, not an answer.
Maybe as I'm getting older, things just aren't as exciting anymore. But it felt like leading up to the Super Bowl, was this the least talked about Super Bowl ever?
Yeah, maybe it's because we just weren't interested in it. It wasn't. It's not like either, our team was in it. It's not like
I
there was a
mean, there
lot
was
going
more
on.
chatter about Kevin Durant getting traded than there was about the Super Bowl. And 100 million people watch the Super Bowl. I don't even know if a million people watch an NBA game. They're so lowly rated. Yet there's more talk about Kevin Durant going
Yeah,
to Phoenix than there was about the Super Bowl. And they're both in Arizona. Like, I just don't understand it. It felt like there wasn't a lot of hype. Did anyone get in trouble before the Super Bowl?
I don't think anyone did. There was
How's that
no.
possible?
I mean, I think Philly did grease their polls just on the off chance, but I don't
What
even
do you
think there
mean grease their
was fan
wait?
issues, let
What do you mean
alone
grease? What do you mean grease their poles? Like that
they
is a
used to have to grease their
disgusting
street
sounding.
lights because people
Oh,
would climb them.
okay. I've never heard that. I didn't know that, but like, yeah. Anyway, so I didn't hear anything about it before the game. Then leading right up to the game, it I don't know. It just felt like not. It didn't even feel like it was really the Super Bowl. And then I watched
Yeah,
it, and that was underwhelming.
you had the opportunity to have the Pro Bowl. I didn't even bother. I mean, I had the opportunity, but I didn't watch it, and so I guess I kind of. I mean, for me, that's where it felt like it wasn't really Super Bowl time. Uh, Now I wish I'd
Also,
watched it, but the Super Bowl was really
why
good.
was
I thought it
that?
was a good game.
Why was that field so awful? And then they kept saying this field's always awful. It
Yeah,
was
well,
awful at the
KB
beginning of
said
the
they
season.
painted the whole thing. What was that about?
I don't know.
What it was the grass dry so
Brown?
that brown so they decided to paint it green and they used like a super stuck like webby kind of paint that took over the whole field and people were trapped in it like
Well, didn't
flies.
they say something about Mahomes in the preseason or when they played there earlier in the season getting like slipping on the field or something like that?
Yeah, but what's funny is Philadelphia kept changing their cleats and Kansas City didn't
Yeah.
change them once, which was weird.
No, and they kept falling. Kansas
Yeah.
City kept falling.
Oh, I wonder, should we fix it now?
And then that kicker when he fell, I thought that was going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I really thought it was. But yeah, I thought the whole thing was lame. And I mean, Arizona's fine, I guess, but that seemed like just all of it was lame to me. It was
It
lame.
seems like in Arizona you should
And
be
then
able to have a pretty good field since, consistent weather. It's not like
and
it's
then
too hot, it's not like it's too cold. It's a consistent weather and it's not like it rains all over the field and
what about having a pregnant woman do the halftime show?
that was kind of weird, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of like
I mean, you almost were a little nervous
especially
because she's standing on top of this glass platform. It's
yeah,
like Michael Jackson holding his kid out the window.
yeah. You're kind of
Not
like,
really at all like
man,
it, but
all of us kind of having to guess, is she pregnant or does she just
yeah,
like McDonald's?
why
What's
couldn't
going
they
on?
just make it why couldn't they just make it known?
Yeah, beforehand,
You
because
know,
then not everybody would have been like, is she pregnant?
right, and it kind of took away from her show because
Yeah,
I mean
I
I'm
think
not a
so
big
too.
fan. I don't know a whole lot of her songs, but like I
Yeah,
didn't pay attention to the show because everyone was trying to figure out if she was pregnant. So then you're online trying to see if she's pregnant and not watching the show. I
yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
disappointing. I didn't really like the halftime show. I liked the
Don't
game a lot. I thought the game was really good. Other
really.
than
I
that,
I I didn't. I was like, it's
well, here's a question:
yeah.
the last penalty. Do you think it was a penalty, or you think it was?
I think it was a penalty. Yeah.
Do you think it was a problem?
I still think the Chiefs would have won. I think they were the better team.
I do too. I didn't think it was a problem. In fact, um, the cornerback, I don't even remember if it was cornerback or safety, but whoever it was
Yeah,
said,
he
I
said he
held
held.
him. It was a
Yeah.
penalty.
And
So
so
how
here's
do you
the
take that
thing.
away and say it's not fair?
Like when they kept saying you can't do this at the end of the game, blah blah blah. But that's a slippery slope. That's how we end up with Rams versus New
Yeah,
Orleans when the Rams guy's tackling the New Orleans Saints receiver, and
right,
well, it's the end of the game. We're not going to call it.
right.
Like you have to call something. Now, if it had been a late hit on the quarterback, I
That
I would have
I
been a little
agree.
more upset about. But that, like, it did cost him. Like,
He had his
it.
arm grabbed
Yeah,
from
yeah, it
reaching
did
out. Yeah,
cost him.
from running out, not from reaching out, from running. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I thought it was a good game. I I think it was, and it's not because towards the end, I don't think I even cared who won. I think I really enjoyed the game. I'm not going to
Really,
say
you
it was
didn't
the
care who
best.
won?
I didn't in the end. I wanted Kansas City to win, but I kind of thought, you know what, both teams are playing really well. Now, there is something I did not. Why you totally cared no matter what? You would have been angered if Philadelphia won or what?
Yeah, but I'm a real Cowboys fan, so
Wow.
yeah.
So one of the things I did notice that kind of didn't strike me, but I don't think Philly's got the same faith in Hurts as people as the fans do. When they needed it, when they needed yardage, he didn't throw, he ran. He
Too
threw
bad
a
he couldn't
long
run the
bomb,
Hail
but that
Mary.
wasn't when they needed it.
Too bad he couldn't run the Hail Mary, huh? Since
Oh
his Hail
wow,
Mary only went like
that
30 yards.
that might have worked. Yeah, I know.
Was that the worst Hail Mary you've
That
ever
was
seen in your
terrible.
life?
It bounced about 20 yards in front of everybody.
It was as bad a Hail Mary as the Cowboys' last second play against San Francisco. Like how that thing was a piece of garbage. It
Which
was as
one? Which last second?
the one where they had Zeke snap the ball.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jalen's
Yes.
Hail Mary was the same as Zeke's blocking on that
I,
play.
I would agree with you there. That is a
I
true
mean, I was
story.
just like, could anyone else? I feel like anyone else could have thrown that ball further than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could have thrown the kicker in there for it.
Yeah, why didn't they bring in Gardner Minshew for that last play and just say, "Hey, man,
Hey, you know what?
after
That might have worked.
yeah,
I mean, the guy can squat, what, 800 pounds for crying out loud? You think he could throw a ball 80
yeah,
yards, 50?
he could have. Yeah, if I was them, I would just quarterback sneak every play.
You know what I would have done if I were them
Hmm.
on that last play? I would have lined up with like Miles Sanders as the center. I would have moved over some wide receivers and some linemen to the left,
Yeah,
moved them over to the right, and just gone wild with that one.
yeah, and then throwing a pass into the middle of the field where none of
Yes,
the
yeah,
blockers
a
were because
5 yard
no one would
pass.
expect that.
Yes, yep,
Yeah,
yep, right in the middle where, yeah, I think that would have been the way I would have done that play. You know what?
yeah.
I probably would have gotten more yards
You know
than
what I
Philly got.
realized about that play? I
Which one?
realized the Cowboys play.
Oh,
I really think the reason they threw it over the middle of the field is I think they were supposed to throw it to whoever was in the middle of the field, and then he was supposed to pitch it to Zeke. I feel like Zeke was supposed to be like fake block, and then but remember he was ineligible,
right,
but you could pitch it back to him,
right.
and so I think he was supposed to make a block. They were supposed to complete that pass, and then he was going to catch the pitch in a confusing manner
Why though would you use Zeke for that? Well, Pollard
because
has a
Tony
bad
Pollard had a
leg.
broken.
Yeah, he wouldn't have run
Yeah,
so well. I don't know.
yeah.
I think there was. I don't even want to go back to that play because that
So
play, the play had potential if it wasn't that we sat there and waited for them to figure out what was going on. But
yeah, I also enjoyed though Jalen Hurts. I mean, I I really I know we say a lot of times I could do that, and there's no way we probably could.
right,
But I do feel like I can throw a football 30 yards if I don't have to aim for somebody. If I'm just
that
throwing
had to
it,
go 30 yards. You can't tell me that went less than 30 yards. There's no
no,
way.
and I said I can throw a football 30 yards.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I'm not aiming. If I don't have to complete it, if I'm just throwing it as far as I can throw it that far.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I think some of the high school players can throw it 30 yards. His ball went more than 30 yards.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think so.
I can punt a ball more than 30 yards, but
I don't think it went more than 30 yards.
you're looking it up
Um,
now.
no, there's no stats on it. I also can we talk
You can look up
about
the pass play.
could we look up talk about Patrick Mahomes for a minute?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right. Well, Patrick Mahomes is a young man born and raised in, no, I don't even know where he was born and raised,
You think he was
but
really hurt?
you know what? I do. I do. I
So
just
how
don't
is he?
know.
Is he superhuman? Like is he like I'm being serious? Like is there something about him that allows
Well, I'm sure they
his
gave him a shot. I don't know that it was, I mean, he could have tweaked it more than, you know, re-sprained it. He looked at more pain though this time than he did during the last one.
right, like the way he limped off, I was like, oh man,
Not just
this
that,
could
but on the
be
sideline when he
yeah.
was like in pain and then dropped his head onto the other guy's
He
shoulder.
might have been in emotional pain at that time too.
Uh,
A little bit of
but you
emotional, but
didn't
he
see
came
him
out
trying to get back out until, yeah, second half he was out. That was their next possession. But yeah,
and then when he ran, when he did his little run there near
yeah,
the end, I mean, he didn't look like he ran smooth. Like none of his runs looked smooth.
right.
They were kind of
But he ran.
choppy and painful, but he still did it. Like that's one thing that like I appreciate about a guy who's making $500 million playing quarterback in the NFL, that he's still sacrificing his body.
Yeah, well, you better if you're going to make that kind of money.
Yeah. But how many of them, I feel like there's a lot of players who wouldn't, who do you think Lamar Jackson would have stayed out there?
No, 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 he wouldn't have shown up. He would have been at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I thought that was really gutsy of him, and he's a good quarterback, man.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
and and I mean, he's been in the Super Bowl what, 3 out of 4 years? 3 out of the last 4 years, he's been in the Super Bowl.
He's been in the Super Bowl. Yeah, two out of the last four. No, one, two,
Three.
one,
He
two.
lost to
Yep,
Tampa,
yep. You're right. One, two out of the last four. Huh.
and he's been in the AFC Championship game every year that he's started.
So, what would you do? What would you give up to get him on our team?
Everything.
No, that's everything. Being what?
I mean, I would give
You
up.
mean anything, not everything.
No,
Clearly,
I
it
would
wouldn't
give
make
up.
sense
I
to.
would say you can take our team and we'll just pick up a bunch of scrubs. We'll pick up whoever gets cut.
Could you imagine Philadelphia's line, Philadelphia's offensive line, Philadelphia's receivers, and Patrick Mahomes?
No, I can't. I cannot imagine that. But what honestly, if this was a serious question, I would give up the next 10 first round draft picks for Patrick
Oh,
Mahomes.
I don't know if I
Which,
give up 10. 10's a lot.
why? You don't
Well,
think we could sign players? Like, look at who his receivers are.
how active are we in the free agency? We got to put a
Well,
line in front of him to make sure he's not dead in
then we
8
will be.
years.
Then we will be after this. Then that's where we start signing people is in free agency. But I don't think I don't think you could draft, because those draft picks are going to be 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. They're not going to be, you're not giving up the second overall pick. You're giving up, basically
Yeah,
second picks.
I don't
So
know.
10
10's a
round pick.
lot. 10 is too much. 10 is too much. I'll give up 10 second round picks because our second rounds never work out for us, but I'll give up, I'd give up 3 first round picks for him.
3.
Pardon me.
So you would give up only 3 first round picks for him?
Yeah.
So
I'm not one for giving up everything I got in the future.
what we should do is somehow track over the next 10 years. Do the Cowboys get a player in the next 10 years that's anywhere close to as good as Patrick Mahomes is
In the first round.
in the first round?
How can we
And I'm going to
track that?
say,
Huh.
no. They're not going to get a player as good as Patrick Mahomes in the
How would
next
we
10
be
years.
allowed to track that? What would make us be? You said somehow track it.
Yeah.
What could we come up with to try and track it?
I don't know. Are you trying to
No,
make me
I'm
think
joking.
of something? Are you sick?
I might be. I don't know. No, I've got I've been doing a lot of work in dust, so
Oh,
my allergies are killing me right now. Why, are
yeah.
you afraid of catching it in a different state?
Yeah, I mean, viruses go through computers all the time.
Yeah, COVID did.
Yeah.
So,
So cool. That's enough talk about Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, I'd give up 10 first round picks for him.
all right, what would you give up for Jalen Hurts?
Mm, Cooper Rush.
So, someone apparently is quite interested
Zeke.
in Cooper Rush. He may not be with us next year.
I would give up Zeke and Cooper Rush.
Both of them?
Yeah, for Jalen
How
Hurts.
about
And then
McCarthy?
we could have Jalen Hurts on the field at the same time as Dak. Jalen Hurts is the running back.
Oh, hey, how about that?
Yeah.
So, Cooper Rush maybe, I forgot who it is, but somebody has expressed interest in him. They
I
think
don't
that
believe
he
you.
won't be around.
I don't believe you.
I want it. I want to see it because I want to see what happens when some team relies on him as their starting quarterback
It would
forever.
have to be a team that like has a brand new owner and he doesn't know anything about football, and he's like, "No, I saw this guy he was a winner. All he does is win." And he
So
brings him in.
Denver.
Except Sean Payton's not going to take Cooper Rush.
No. So, all right. So we got that. Now, what do the Cowboys need to do to get ourselves to a Super Bowl next year? You think McCarthy's got it?
What's that?
You think McCarthy has the ability to get us a Super Bowl win next year?
I don't know that he has the ability to, but I don't think anybody else does, any better. I don't know who's available out there. That's the thing. Like, I mean,
I
if we
hear you
could get
there.
the guy from the 49ers, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I hear you there. I guess my main question is just like, are we able to do it? We've had good players throughout the years. We've had many coaches. We can't do it. It's not, I don't know, missing something.
Yeah, yeah. We're missing, like I said, I think it is deep inside the organization and it's systemic.
It appears to be. Now it looks like receiver from Ohio State, Jackson. Can't think of his last name. It's two last names, hyphenated. He has apparently expressed interest in coming to Dallas. I think we need a receiver.
Yeah, I do. I think we need a receiver desperately.
What's our number one need?
I would say O line and then receiver
I'm gonna
and
say
defensive tackle after
receiver,
that.
defensive tackle, O line.
A running back has got to be up there too, I guess. But I feel like they're so easy to find.
They
Like
really are. They're not
you
a
can just
they're
pick
not a
'em up off.
first, second round kind of pick.
You can just pick them up off the waiver wire almost.
Yeah, you might be able to do it. You're still young, younger than
Yeah,
me. No, many people wouldn't notice that, but it's a true story.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of holes going. No, I lie. There's not. On paper, we should be good enough. It's just for some reason it's got to be something to do with the Jones family that keeps us from getting there. What it is, I don't know. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. We've
yeah,
had good players, we've had good coaches. We just can't go anywhere.
yeah. I know.
We've even had good drafts. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm annoyed by it, really annoyed by it. I just want it to change.
me too, man. I'm with you. I wish there was something, and I don't know.
Would
I don't know.
Patrick Mahomes even want to come to Dallas? I know it's not an option. I mean, he's staying where he is, but scenarios roll out. You think he'd
I
even
mean, he's
accept
from
coming to
Texas.
Dallas?
He's from Texas, so yeah, I bet he would. Born and raised in Texas. Yeah,
I
I think
just don't
so.
know if Dallas wants a Super Bowl.
I don't know if Dallas wants a superstar. That's what I feel like. I feel like we like having stars, but no one. Jerry Jones doesn't want anyone that will outshine Jerry Jones. And that's why I think he loves Dak. He loves Zeke because they're not gonna. They're stars, but they're not. They're
You
not.
think,
He's not Tom. He wouldn't want Tom Brady. I don't think not anymore, and no one does. But like I
right?
think if that become available at some point, Bill Belichick, same thing. Like he's not going to want somebody like that.
Do you think that changes under Stephen Jones if he were to take over? By the way, did you know that Jerry Jones has a Jerry Jones Jr. son?
No, I did not know that.
I did not either. He's
Does he
part of the
work for the Cowboys?
organization. Yeah, I think he's in like sales and marketing or something like that. But yeah,
Really? And
that
so he's
Stephen
not allowed
Jones
up in
is,
the booth.
huh?
He's not allowed up in the booth.
I have no idea. It
Huh?
was just kind of weird. I just kind of like came across it. I was like, wow, I didn't realize
Triple
that.
J. Triple J.
Yeah.
That's
So,
frightening.
but yeah, I don't know if it changes though. That's the hard part. Like, Stephen Jones is more active than not than Jerry Jones, but each year he's more and more active in the organization, but
Yeah.
nothing changes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm
Yeah.
I'm overly frustrated.
I hear you, man.
Who
I
is
hear you.
the old Indianapolis coach? We've talked about him briefly. I said he doesn't like the Cowboys. He's a commentator on, I
Tony
think it's,
Dungy?
yes, Tony Dungy. I talked about how he hated the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really hates them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you read something else or
He's
something?
on ESPN. On ESPN, they were talking about the top six teams for next year. They put out
Yeah.
their power rankings, whatever, for next year, and they talked about the top six. And he's like, "Really? We're going to talk about top six?" He was pissed off because they were going to talk about the not the top five, not the top seven, not the top 10. They needed to go to number six to include the Dallas Cowboys, and he flipped out. I I guess,
Really?
yeah. Keyshawn made a comment about it, and Tony's like, I'm done. I'm out and walked off. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it. I read about it. So I don't know if he walked off the set during or if it was like what the situation was. But yeah, no, he really hates him. He really hates the Cowboys. He says he's tired of talking about the Cowboys. NFL is bigger than the Cowboys. Everything's all about the Cowboys. It's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I
Yeah.
knew he hated him. I just
Yeah.
couldn't wait to hear him actually say it.
Yeah. And now you know he really hates them.
Yeah, which is good. Nothing makes somebody hate someone more than beating them. Like you beat them and they hate you more. So
Yeah,
that's why the
I know.
Eagles hate the Cowboys. That's why everyone hates the Cowboys. Pretty soon,
Yep.
though, we're working our way to be loved by everyone.
Right. That's why so many people have daddy issues.
Yeah, that's a true story. So what else have we got? Tell me what else do you think about the Super Bowl?
Um,
We didn't really talk
I
too much about the Super Bowl, just a little
Yeah, I
bit.
mean, I think like I said, I think it was fine. It wasn't that great of a Super Bowl for me. I know you loved it every second of it. Um,
What didn't you
I
like about
thought
it? What didn't you like? The refing wasn't as bad as the
it
rest
felt
of the
completely
season.
scripted to me. Like it felt so scripted. Like
Speaking of scripted, go ahead. Go ahead.
I felt like it was gonna come down to the Chiefs winning by a field goal, and what do you know? The Chiefs win by a field goal, and it. I don't know. It just didn't seem like as much emotion. How about when Andy Reid though told that guy, "I want to kiss you right now," but I don't think that would work out. How about that?
How you feeling? Well, I'd kiss you, but yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Would you have thought it was funny if it had been Mike McCarthy saying it?
it would have been. That's how we would have started the podcast today.
Because you'd have been like, would he be really? Was
Listen,
he really wanting to kiss him?
if he won us a Super Bowl, have at it. Kiss the guy. Whatever. We won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, did you see the coin toss?
Yeah.
When he was thanking her for everything, and I don't remember what her scenario was, whether her son was in the service or whatever she had done. He was thanking her for it. But it was almost like he was reading it. It was so scripted. It was totally
Yeah,
insincere. It was almost
he had
really,
memorized it. Yeah, he
yeah,
had
not
memorized.
even memorized it. Like it was almost like he was reading it. We just couldn't
They
see
were
his
probably
eyes reading
telling
it.
him right in his ear.
That could be.
Yeah.
That could be. But yeah, it was just that was super weird to me. It was like just
Why are there a
don't
thousand
say it if it's
people on
not
the
sincere.
Why are there 1,000 people on the field for a coin flip?
Because people bet on it, I guess.
Why is the punter out there for Kansas City at a coin flip?
He might have been a captain.
Yeah, I know he
Maybe that
was a
was the only
captain, but
time they thought he'd take the field. He didn't take it in the second half.
they're like, let's make our punter our captain. Our punter and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, what is that about? That was weird to me.
They showed that whole thing about the first time the Super Bowl with the, what, four people and the ref on the
Yeah,
field, and now this time. And
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's almost gonna be like the end of the game when they start the game now. They're gonna have everybody. The person that sings the anthem is gonna be out there. The person
How
that
many
sings.
anthems do we have now?
Well,
I
there's
felt
only
like I feel like we had at least 5 songs before the thing started, right?
right. They
It was
they've
like
done they've
song and
played several
song
songs beforehand
and then
on a regular
song and then
basis, but yeah, I
song
don't
and
know
then
why so many.
song. I was just like, come on, man. Like, we live in America. We know it now. You know why? Yeah, I just don't understand why we have so many songs about where we live before the game even starts.
I don't know.
How do you grow an international game when you're constantly singing a
Well,
national anthem?
how ironic is it that we go to London, to England, Great Britain, and sing about our freedom in
Right.
their
That is
stadium
and
when we took our freedom from them?
and do you think we sing? Would we sing "God Bless America" or "God
Yeah.
Save the Queen" if
Ooh,
if if there was a London team, or "God Save the King"? Now, I guess if we do expand to London and a London team is playing in the Super Bowl, will we sing "God Bless America" or "God Save the King"?
that's actually a good question. What do we sing if we go? I'll bet you they sing both anthems.
Because they do in baseball and hockey and the NBA, they sing the Canadian and the American. But we have so many, so we're gonna have like 50 songs then because we're gonna be
Yeah, because
singing
we'll do three
probably,
from each country, and then maybe
yeah,
a representative from
some other
another
country.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we
Hey,
celebrate blah blah blah.
yeah. Did you did what did you think about the national anthem?
Um, who sang it?
Chris
I didn't.
Stapleton.
I didn't see the national anthem. I saw the "God Bless the USA." I saw that. I didn't see the national anthem.
God bless the
I,
USA.
or "God Bless America." I mean, I
God bless
lied.
America. God
Well, it's
bless
the
the
same
USA.
thing.
It's not even
Different
close to the
song.
same thing.
Different song,
One's
but
an
same.
80s
One
rock
one's
ballad.
America. One's yeah.
Yeah.
I saw "God
Um,
Bless America." I did not see.
yeah. And Raise Every Voice, or the other one. Did you see that anthem?
The only one I saw was
Oh,
"God
okay.
Bless the USA." It was on video. I had MTV turned on down here.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine. I don't know how I timed it because there was so much talk about like how long it was going to be and the over under on the, which I think that is the place where you could really make some money on the over under. If is it going to be over 2 minutes 1 second or whatever it was said. I think this over under was 2 minutes 1 second, and he did 2 minutes 1 second. But
Huh.
and I don't know how they calculate it, but what's to keep a friend of Chris Stapleton's from being like, dude, I'm gonna
Make
go
it.
bet $1 million
Yep.
on this.
Make it two
Sing,
seconds.
sing it fast.
Yep.
Sing it faster than you're thinking. And Chris Stapleton being like, all right, and it's 5-1, and they make $4 million and split it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good point. But I mean, he can't. I mean, there's music that goes with it, so we'd
No,
have to
half the time,
convince.
no. Half the time they do it a cappella, but he played his own guitar. It was just him and his
I guess
guitar.
he could play quicker then, huh?
He could do whatever he wanted. Yeah, he's Chris Stapleton. What do you mean?
That is true. He is. I checked.
Yeah, there's not somebody else Chris Stapleton. He's not, Chris Stapleton as Chris Stapleton. He's just straight up Chris Stapleton.
So
And why were all the coaches crying too? That was bothering me.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
What were you doing
I'm building downstairs. Get
during
my
the
bar
Super
going.
Bowl?
No, during the beginning before the Super Bowl started. I had a lot to get done.
I'll
I
let you
need a
slide.
bar, man. I need a
What'd you
bar.
do? what'd you do during halftime?
I ended up getting involved in this massive text thing about whether or not what's her name is Rihanna is pregnant.
Did
And
you
I kind of
remember?
thought you were mad when you said it says it on Twitter. But I don't see it on Twitter. I don't on Twitter, but my wife looked and it didn't say she was pregnant. It just said, "Is she?"
Did you? Well, Twitter was right, weren't they?
Well, it said, "Is she?" So technically, no, wasn't right.
Um, Twitter was right. No, Twitter was right.
Oh,
Not Twitter users, Twitter.
oh,
So
so
I have a question about the halftime show. Do you remember when they used to have like the Victoria's Secret lingerie bowl during halftime?
yes.
And and then the puppy bowl during halftime? How
Yep.
many people do you think like left the halftime show, watching the halftime show to go watch the lingerie bowl or
And
the
back
puppy
then,
bowl?
probably a
Yeah.
lot. Now they put the puppy bowl survived out of the two of them. That's the funny thing. With all the people in America, somehow the puppy bowl is the one that survives. I'm glad they didn't mix the two and put puppies
Right.
in lingerie and have the
Lingerie.
puppy
Right.
bowl before the game. But yeah, I guess
I
I,
just I cannot believe that was a real thing, the lingerie bowl at halftime. Quick, turn over to NBC to watch the lingerie bowl during halftime.
and of course didn't they have a timer that used to count
Yes,
down to when
yes.
the actual halftime was over? Yeah, I have no desire to watch a puppy bowl.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. Even the
I
name doesn't sound.
so I want to go back to the scripted thing. I don't think the NFL is scripted, but the Super Bowl does feel scripted to me. The last two Super Bowls have felt very scripted to me.
Huh. A lot of things feel scripted at times when you look at football. I
Yeah.
mean, how many players walk off on the sunset? You know,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Tom Brady didn't. I mean, if they were going to script it, it would have been Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady this
Oh,
year in the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying, yeah, I think that I said the Super Bowl feels scripted, not getting to the Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
The actual Super Bowl feels scripted.
Yeah, it seems like that would be a hard thing to accomplish, though. All right,
No,
here's the
I
deal.
agree
We're
with
going to give you guys all an extra bonus to keep your mouth shut. Oh, you're
I
not
agree
in?
with
Why don't you go into the back room there? You're going to meet with a nice guy. Ignore the plastic on the walls behind you. Just
no,
smile.
I agree that I'm not saying it is
No, I
scripted.
know, I know, I know, I
I
know, I
say
know.
it feels
It
very
feels
scripted.
scripted. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of games that kind of feel
But
that way though.
I know we say that about like how hard would it be to keep their mouth shut, but I mean, how long were you able to keep your mouth shut about Santa not being real with your kids?
What?
Exactly. Exactly. And
That's
you
why he hasn't come around?
and you allegedly love them,
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a odd topic. We let Reese know this year, and it went easy,
did it spoil
easier than
did
the
it did,
voice.
right. Did it spoil her getting her driver's license too? Like when you let her know about Santa?
No,
Was
she
she
already
like,
had it. So I
okay.
mean, she's been
So she
driving
got it
for a couple
before. You
years.
waited. You waited. Okay. That was good.
Yeah, she's had it for a few years now. So I mean, it was weird when she went off to campus and
Yeah.
she'd wait and I'd have to sneak over there and leave some
Oh man.
because every once in a while
Elf
she'd
on
stay out there at school. Yeah,
Elf on the
across the
Shelf on the
country.
college campus.
Yeah,
I can't
but with her
imagine.
going to Oxford this year, I can't travel out there to do that.
So you were just like, I gotta let her know.
Yeah. Yep.
Good. I mean, you could have told her Saint Nick doesn't go to England. Like that would have been an easy.
Yeah, but she probably will talk to people.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to see it like, and then it's confusing because over there, like I know in Germany they have boots and stuff like that instead of stockings, and it just would have been so awkward.
Yeah.
So I
No,
just yeah
good decision.
yeah I try. So I don't know how we got into that sidetrack, but yeah I don't know. What are the top two things you'd like to see done before the season starts for the Cowboys?
For the
Two things.
Cowboys,
Yep.
I would like to see them fire their new offensive coordinator.
You took mine.
and hire a real one. And I would like to see, like, it sounds like Eric Bieniemy's just gone from the Chiefs, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
Andy
don't.
Reid was like, I hope his next opportunity
Yeah,
is a head coach, which makes me think that it might not be a head coach, but he's just done there. He's like, I'm done.
it is kind of weird that went awkward in the end.
No, but actually, like the two things I would like to see, I would like to see the Cowboys sign. I would like to see the Cowboys draft a running back, not sign one, draft a running back, and I would like to see the Cowboys sign uh,
Defensive tackle.
a defensive tackle.
Yep.
Yeah. How about you?
Mine was I would love to see them change their offensive coordinator, but I want to sign a big name. Like I want to draft a big wide receiver.
A big one.
Yep, tall,
Okay.
fast. I want to,
That kid from TCU.
yeah, I
Yeah.
want to sign a solid um, defensive tackle. Fletcher
Yeah.
Cox, I'll take him. He's 30, what, 32 maybe? But I'll take him. He's a free agent, isn't he?
I don't know. I did know also that Tennessee has a wide receiver that's skinny, but he's tall and fast. Does that work for you?
Skinny, but skinny enough to avoid tackles because he's so thin he just turns sideways and nobody can touch him, or can he
I
catch a
would
ball?
say remember what's his name for the Eagles? They would return
Deshaun
punts for
Johnson?
Deshaun Jackson. Yeah, like
Jackson,
that.
I mean? Yeah.
Like that skinny but tall.
Huh. Fast?
Very.
Who are we talking about?
I don't know. He plays for Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh, Volunteers. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I want somebody who can catch a ball like this, not like
Yeah.
this. I want somebody who is fast.
Like AJ Brown. Would you want AJ Brown?
I would shoot someone for AJ Brown. Not AJ Brown though, because I would ruin the whole point of
Right.
shooting someone for him.
Yeah. Would you shoot Michael Gallup for AJ Brown?
Yeah. I mean, don't
Yeah.
tell Michael Gallup I'm not, watching it shot. No.
I would just
Uh,
shoot it, Michael Gallup just to keep him off the team next year.
wow. So you're really going out there on this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like we need somebody there. I think I, we haven't gone deep hardly at all. Like
No.
it was lame, and I think that was Michael Gallup who is not able to do it anymore. And now with two surgeries in the off season, is he gonna
Yeah.
be better? Why didn't we
No.
keep him? Why didn't we trade him or let him go and sign what's his
Amari
name
Cooper?
again? Yeah.
Because they said that Amari Cooper made Jerry Jones mad about the vaccine because he wouldn't get vaccinated, and it made Jerry Jones mad.
But he could catch a ball.
Yeah, he can, and he can run routes.
Huh.
Yeah.
But he didn't get vaccinated, so
Nope.
huh. All right.
Yeah. So Jerry Jones was like, "See you,
That
brah."
worked out well.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, well, Super Bowl's over. We got a
Yep.
little bit of a hangover for a bit. Are you gonna watch the what's the other
No.
USFL?
Is there XFL and USFL now? I've seen advertisements for both of them.
I know. I know USFL is there. It worked last year, which was weird because when they did that other one back a while ago, I did watch the XFL the one time. I think that was
Yeah.
it, the XFL.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like stopped. And then they did the other one a couple years ago. AFL, what did they call that one?
XFL, I think.
No, it was just not long ago. It doesn't matter. I watched that. It
I
didn't
know what you're
last the
talking
full
about. Yeah.
season. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
they quit
now,
in the middle of the season. Yeah.
yeah. And then, and we got a quarterback out of it somewhere, but Blaine Gilbert or something like that. Anyways, it's almost like you want to start watching it, sort of, if it's going to be good,
Yeah.
but It's got to
It's not
prove
going to be good.
itself first. It's like watching a new episode, a new
And
TV show. You
they
got
played
like,
all the games. They had them in different teams from different towns, but they all played in the same town. Remember that?
who
In
did?
that league that you're talking about. They would be like the Birmingham versus
No, they played in
Detroit,
their
but they
own
all
because
played.
Birmingham
No,
had.
no, they all played in one stadium. That was another thing that was super weird about it.
Who was running it? There was some big names that were running it. In fact,
Yeah.
I think one was a football
I
player
think it
or
was like
coach or.
I think it was like Dick Cheney, and then he shot somebody in the face, and they had to shut
Oh
it.
yeah, I thought it was a bear in the woods.
Yeah,
Forgot
yeah.
about that. Yes.
No, but I think we should give ourselves uh the rest of this week to get over the Super Bowl hangover, and then next
All right.
week come back strong with some good Cowboy excitement for this
We can
coming
do
year.
that. We can do that. We can talk about the upcoming because let's face it, the new year starts soon, which means free agency starts soon. So we can talk about maybe some free agents we'd like to see. People
Yep,
can start to put in our comments free agents they'd like to see. Then we got the draft coming up.
yep,
It's going to get exciting.
yeah, and changes we want to see in the NFL
Yeah,
as a
and
whole.
maybe we can change some rules together.
Yeah,
We can all get together and change some rules.
I don't see how we couldn't.
If you can dream it, you can do it. So my
Yeah,
buddy Walt used to say. So
yeah.
excellent. Anything
R.I.P.
else you
Walt.
have?
Nope, that's it.
All right, very good. Hey everyone, just want to thank you for joining us. We will continue this during the off season, but feel free to put comments in the comment section. Like us, subscribe, share, all that stuff. We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.